Thumbnails are one of the most important yet somehow underrated tools to help you get in front of your ideal audience. It's a visual first impression that can either persuade someone to click through to your video or send them scrolling away. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a tutorial of how to create an amazing custom thumbnail for your YouTube video in Canva, and I'm going to share my 3 biggest thumbnail tips that I've learned over the years to help you increase your click-through rates and get your audience excited about your content. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Austen and I am a fashion and beauty content creator based in New York City. I use this channel to help micro-influencers create great content, grow their digital brands, and earn sustainable income from content creation. So if any of that interests you, please do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for new videos every Tuesday. For the first few years of my YouTube channel, I was using a very basic template on Canva and simply only changing it to swap out a new photo depending on the video I was creating, and also one of my brand colors. There was nothing really wrong with it on the surface level, but it felt very one-dimensional and it didn't get me super excited about the content. As you may have noticed, and some of you have complimented me on, which I really appreciate, I have been putting a lot more effort into my thumbnails here on my YouTube channel over the last few months, and I've definitely noticed a difference. Now, for every one of my YouTube videos, I do spend the extra time to create a unique custom thumbnail for each video that still maintains a strong visual brand identity so people know an Austen video when they see one. First, let's review some thumbnail basics and get into my top 3 tips that I think are super important to keep in mind before you start designing, and then I will share my screen and show you a tutorial of how I create my thumbnails using Canva. I'm sure many of you are aware, but just as a reminder, a thumbnail is almost like a cover image for your YouTube video that shows up on the search engine results page and on your YouTube channel to represent your video. Whenever someone searches for something on YouTube, they will be led to a search engine results page where they will see a bunch of different options for the search term that they plugged in. On the search engine results page, searchers see 3 pieces of information that help them make the decision about which video to click into. They will see your title, they'll see a preview of the description box of your YouTube video, and they'll see your thumbnail. So in addition to having a strong searchable title and a very helpful description that provides more insight into your video, your thumbnail really is that 3rd piece of the puzzle to help someone decide whether or not they're going to click into your video. Here are my 3 biggest thumbnail tips that I've learned from the last 5 years on YouTube. First and foremost, legible fonts matter. If you are adding text to your thumbnail, which I do recommend, make sure people can read it. I do recommend choosing a sans serif font that will be the easiest to read, and you can even bold the font or make it bigger. Just make sure that it's legible. Especially be sure to double check this on your YouTube mobile app. More users than ever are watching YouTube on their mobile devices, and if someone searches for a piece of content and they can't read the thumbnail, then that might be a deal breaker for them. I would also recommend left aligning your text on your YouTube thumbnail, which I will show you in the screen recording tutorial, and make sure you avoid putting text in the bottom right-hand corner of your YouTube video, because again, on the mobile app, there is a timestamp there that will block any text that is there. Tip number 2 has to do with which words you choose to place on your thumbnail. So when in doubt, keep it short and sweet. Think about using 3 to 5 words max to further enhance the point of your video. One mistake that I see creators making is to take their exact title and place that same phrase on their YouTube thumbnail. And I think that's a big missed opportunity, because when you search, as we mentioned, there are those 3 things that pop up to help someone decide to click through your video. They're already going to be seeing your title, so you have an opportunity to enhance the title or add something new that you can put on your thumbnail that does not take away from the character space in your title. I like to try to use some kind of action phrase or pose an interesting question to get someone to click through. So for example, my last video was all about finding long-term success as an influencer, but I made the thumbnail, "Can your influence last?" So that was a thought-provoking question that got people clicking into the video to figure out, oh man, can my influence last? I don't know, I better go watch this. And my 3rd tip that does tie in nicely to the 1st and 2nd is that a thumbnail should evoke some kind of reaction from the viewer to help them click through. A title alone is fine, but to have a visual component that makes someone curious or surprised or mad maybe to get them to click through the video will help increase your click-through rate. Now, sometimes people can have crazy facial reactions and pose questions that might come off as clickbaity, but as long as your thumbnail and your title accurately represent what is in the video and it's not super clickbaity, that's okay. So just use your best judgment. You don't want to annoy someone who's clicked into your video. So if you are posing a really interesting question or you say you're going to share something in the video, make sure that you follow through with it. And just for a little fun behind the scenes moment, I will show you me speeding through some poses and facial expressions while I'm choosing a thumbnail for this video. I always like to give myself a few options if I am including a photo of myself, which I almost always am. So this is something that I do and that you're welcome to replicate. So just to recap, make sure your text is legible, choose words that are not the same words as your title to excite the viewer, and think about an emotional reaction to get someone to actually click into your video. Let me know in the comments down below if you are already doing one or maybe all of these things in your videos, because I do think that you're on the right track if you are. So now that we've reviewed what thumbnails are and some best practices for creating them, let's get into the screen sharing tutorial in Canva.
Okay, so we are in my Canva account, and I actually have a Canva template called YouTube Thumbnail, and this houses all of my YouTube thumbnails of all time. Hopefully you recognize some of these. So I find it really easy to keep everything here in one place, and then if I want to use one of these as a template for a future video. Obviously, like I said, I do try to customize all of them, but this does make the starting point a little bit easier for me. And I should mention the size for this. If you just go onto Canva and click on YouTube, it will auto-populate, but it is 1280 by 720 pixels. Now, one thing that all of my Canva templates have in common is they all are on a gradient background, and they all feature me cut out with a white outline. So I scrolled through the clip where I was posing for different thumbnail poses and selected one. So we're going to upload that one and work on this thumbnail for this video. So I hope you enjoy this meta experience. So I've decided that I'm going to use the kind of peach salmon color of my brand colors for today's gradient background. So what I'm actually going to do is just duplicate this existing thumbnail and then get rid of the old text. I do like to keep these little stars in the corner as well, so this will be the blank slate for this thumbnail that we're creating. Now I am going to find the screenshot on my desktop that I took from the iMovie and upload it. And once it's uploaded, if I just click on it, it will pop into the video. Then I'm going to go to Edit Image, and I'm going to use this awesome Canva feature called Background Remover. Now, Background Remover is a pro feature of Canva, but if you guys want to try a 30-day free trial of Canva Pro, I do have that linked for you down in the description of this video. So once I've removed the background, if it missed anything, I can also go in and erase anything that it missed or restore anything it took away I didn't want it to, but that looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to hit apply. Now, in order to get this glow effect, the next thing I'm going to do is click on shadows, and then I'm going to hit glow. So it did add a glow, but I want the outline to be white and I want it to not be as faded. So if I click on glow again, now I have the option to adjust the size of the glow outline. So I usually land somewhere between like 7 and 10. The transparency, I'm going to put that actually up to 100%. The blur, which I'm going to bring all the way down to 1 to give that more harsh outline. And of course, for color, I am going to just change it to white. And I hit apply. Okay, so then I just drag it to the right-hand side of the video, because remember, I'm going to want to align the text that I add on the left side of the video to avoid any issues with YouTube mobile viewing. Once I've repositioned myself where I want to be, now I can go ahead and add the text. And as I already mentioned, I want this text to be something different than my title. So while the title of this YouTube video is going to be how to create a YouTube thumbnail in Canva, I want the text to be a bit more of something that sparks excitement for my viewer. So I was thinking about adding stand out and increase clicks as the text for this video. This is where I'll scroll back into some of my other videos to maybe get inspiration. You know, I like that this has the pink outline on it. I like that this has the neon glow. And one thing you'll notice is that all of these are a sans serif font that is very easy to read. Okay, let's keep it simple for now and just grab this white font down here to see how the words fit on the screen. So this is where you'll want to play around with the size, maybe instead of the word, and I have the plus sign. So I'll keep playing around with this to get different variations of what I want out of the text. Honestly, if I just stopped here, I think that's already pretty good. One other way to make a font more legible with Canva is to add a bit of an effect to it. So you can select text and click on effects, and you can select the shadow option. You'll see it added a shadow to the text. And again, you can change the direction of that shadow, the blur, the transparency. So if you want it to be more opaque, and let's just choose black for right now so you can see what that difference actually looks like. Now that is easier to read than the white. One other thing I could do to make this even a bit easier to read is to flip the gradient so that the darkest part of it is in this bottom right hand corner, and as you can see, the darker background allows the font to stand out a bit more. One really easy way to check if your thumbnail is going to be legible, especially on the YouTube mobile app, is just to shrink the percentage size. See if you can get it down to a small percentage, and if you can still read what it says, that's a very good sign. Now, the other thing I thought about including in this thumbnail is the Canva logo, since I am using Canva to create this thumbnail. And if you were searching for this and you already have a Canva account and you know how easy it is, maybe that would make you more likely to click on it. So if there is a way to add the logo, I might try to throw that in somewhere. One other thing to note about some of the Canva elements is sometimes you can change and customize the colors. So these are Canva's brand colors, but if I wanted to redo the logo in my brand colors, I actually have the flexibility to do that, which is pretty interesting. So I'm going to speed through a bit more of my design process to get to the result that I have on my screen right now. I did end up removing the sparkles in the corner so I could move myself over and have a bit more room to play with for different elements I wanted to add, like the Canva logo, which again, I do feel like helps if someone is already a Canva user. I also added a fun little click emoji that I found on Canva as well. So I like how this turned out. I'm feeling pretty confident about it, and this is my final design. I feel like there's just added pressure here because this is the thumbnail for the thumbnail video, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. So once I'm happy with my design, I will click on share up here and head to download. I'm going to make sure that PNG is selected, and I of course don't need to download all 50 of these pages, so I will just check current page, page 8, download the file, and then I will edit the file name because it will just be called YouTube thumbnail, which is the name of this Canva doc, but I will update it to have additional keywords for this video that I'm creating. And that's how I made my custom YouTube thumbnail using Canva.
I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you'd like to see more of my videos about YouTube in terms of starting your channel, optimizing, and growing, I do have a YouTube tips playlist that I will link down below in the description box of this video. Maybe you can cue some of those up to your watch later and really dive into YouTube this week. If you enjoyed today's video and you are new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber. As I mentioned, I publish new videos every Tuesday. You can even turn on the notification bell so that you get notified right when I upload. And please also do give me a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed today's video or learned something new. Thanks again for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.